What if the real problem isn't participation trophies? What if the real problem is how we've been trained to interpret them? Welcome back to the Achieve Your Apex podcast. I'm Chad Hyams, and today we're wrapping up chapter 19 with something you already own: proof that you have been in the game. So let's take this perspective shift, okay? We live in a world obsessed with winners. First place, gold medals, recognition, applause, likes. Think about all the people out there that had nothing to offer, yet they became social media influencers because they got a bunch of likes somewhere. Come on now, folks. For most of us, life is never a podium moment. You won't stand on the top of a podium in some world-class event. You might never get that video that goes viral. You won't have that happen. Life to us is not the podium moment. It's the series of practice runs, the stumbles, the resets, and the small wins that almost no one ever sees. Some people criticize participation trophies as if effort without a title is worthless. I want you to hear this clearly. Effort is never wasted. Ever. Even when there's no crowd to see it happen. Even when you didn't win in some competition. Even when the trophy feels small or just symbolic. Effort is never wasted. I remember coaching someone through a tough season in their life. Okay. They were showing up for their business. They were showing up for their family. They were showing up for their health consistently. They were doing what needed to be done. And yet they still felt like it was never enough. They said to me on one of our coaching calls, "I've got nothing to show for all this work I've been doing." And I just said to them, "You're still standing. That's your trophy." A lot of people won't be standing when it comes to the end. Effort is never wasted. Maybe it's the scar that's healed. Maybe it's the voice that just didn't give up. Maybe it's that resilience that you've built on your journey to who you're becoming. Now let's grab some research that goes with this whole concept we've been talking about in chapter 19. Because a study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, Journal of Personality and Social Psychology revealed that when people reflect actively on their experiences, the wins and losses, they increase their emotional resilience by 23% and long-term goal achievement by 17%. Folks, you want to achieve your goal achievement by 17%? I'll take every increase I can get. It just means actively reflecting on the experience. Because reflection turns memory into meaning. Without it, we'll miss the lesson. We chase the next thing, we don't appreciate the last thing. That is why this matters. The trophy is not the issue. The absence of reflection is the issue. Okay? Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, you've possibly read it. If you haven't, go read it. Okay? Angela Duckworth said, "Grit is passion and sustained persistence applied towards long-term achievement with no particular concern for rewards or recognition along the way." Let that sink in for a second. The reward isn't always something you hold. Sometimes it's who you've become. Okay? Maybe you've become that person who doesn't quit. Maybe you've become that person who owns their scars. Maybe you've become that person who keeps moving forward without the applause because you don't need it. Think about the quiet trophies we as a group carry. Some of these apply specifically to you. Maybe the single parent who keeps going when no one's watching, doing the hard work to be a single parent and still be a parent in that situation. Maybe the entrepreneur who failed 3 times and is ready to go for number 4. Maybe the person that chooses recovery every day, even when it's hard. How about that scar you have on your knee from the moment you got back up? And what about the stretch marks, the gray hairs, the smile lines that everybody wants to get rid of, the calloused hands? Those are trophies of surviving and aging and enjoying. Okay? These were never handed to you. These are things you've earned along the way. Here's a question I want you to sit with. What's one trophy you've forgotten to appreciate? What's one trophy you've forgotten to take the time to appreciate? Maybe it's a relationship you rebuilt. Maybe it's a habit you finally broke. Maybe it's a risk you took, even if it didn't lead you where you hoped it would. Name it, write it down, and tell the story of what it meant, not just what it was. Reflect upon it. Because when you do, you will see your own growth clearly, not just your achievements, your becoming. I talked about this in the last episode. I talk about this in Achieve Your Apex, which you can get on Amazon or at achieveyourapex.com. I compare this to the Komodo dragon, an apex predator who develops bony deposits under their skin called osteoderms. They're not born with them. They earn them over time from fights, from battles, from experiences. These scars never show up on Instagram, mainly because Komodo dragons don't have thumbs and a cell phone. They live beneath the surface. They're proof of survival. They're proof of effort. They are proof of a life fully lived. Okay? You have osteoderms. They're in your memories. They're in your lessons, in the quiet wins that no one ever handed you a trophy for. Those are your badges. Wear them proudly. You're not here to be a spectator. You're here to show up. So keep showing up. Now, we've wrapped up chapter 19, which means the final chapter is next. Don't worry, there's more even after the final chapter. Make sure you're joining me each and every week for the next episode of the Achieve Your Apex podcast. And until that next episode, keep climbing.